Powered by 790 The Zone. This is the CBS Atlanta Sportsline SEC Preview Show. Presented by your Greater Atlanta Hyundai dealers.
Hello and welcome to the SEC Preview Show on CBS Atlanta. I'm Guy Rawlings. He is former Auburn Tiger, 15-year NFL veteran, Wayne Gany. Wayne, how you doing? Looking sharp tonight.
Hey, man, I'm trying to keep a good look for the old lineman. You know, we get a bad reputation, so I try to look clean for them all the time.
All svelte and stuff. Look at you. You've been working out, I guess, huh?
Yeah, a couple of days a week. I try to stay in shape.
All right. Speaking of looking good, the University of Georgia has been looking good all season long. They'll be hosting Tennessee this weekend. That is our CBS game tomorrow at 3:30 right here on CBS Atlanta. And I got to tell you, Wayne, these guys defensively have been really, really tough.
And they're going to get even better. They got Rambo coming back.
Right.
They got Ogletree coming back. Jarvis Jones has already proven that he can carry the load by himself. Everybody started the season thinking about the offense. The defense has definitely made it their story. They've gone out against teams that throw the ball, run the ball, and have shown up every Sunday so far. 4-0 Georgia. It's about Georgia when it comes to this game. It's not so much about what Tennessee can do.
Right.
It's about Georgia. They're looking like a very complete team.
The guys you mentioned, Rambo and Ogletree, coming back from 4-game suspensions. The defense has not allowed a touchdown, at least not last week in that Vandy win. And you know what? I got to tell you that the head coach, Mark Richt, actually talking about Derek Dooley, he knows Tennessee is going to have their hands full.
All know about Georgia. There's no sense in me talking about how good they are. They're probably playing as good as I've seen them in a long time. Quarterback's averaging 10.5 an attempt. The runner's averaging 9.2 an attempt. 48 points. They're only giving up 16. Probably one of the most talented defenses in the country. So we got our work cut out for us.
They got to be one of the most talented teams in the country.
Well, the one thing I like about this Georgia team this year, teams of the past, you kind of thought the mentality of them were not tough. This year, when you watched the game last week against Vandy, what a lot of people thought was a trap game, you saw this Bulldog team go out and handle business. It was no doubt that they came to play. Forget all the who's bickering and what coordinator and coach has a problem. It was about the players on the field. The defense totally shut down Vandy's offense. And tomorrow, I think, is going to be the same thing. It's going to be about the Georgia Bulldogs defense setting the pace. We know what they can do on offense. We know what those two running backs can do, Marshall, Gurley. It's going to be about that defense, and can Tennessee move the ball against the defense?
Right. In fact, Georgia's favored by like 13.5 points. But moving on to Tennessee, what they can possibly do to win this game. They do have an explosive offense, though.
Yeah, they have two receivers, Cordell Patterson, Justin Hunter. Tyler Bray has been throwing the ball around all season long. They've been able to get up on people early. Last week they did struggle against Akron. Their defense, though, is real Jekyll and Hyde. It's like it comes to play. They have 8 interceptions already this year. Last year they only had 9 total. But they give up the big play. They've given up 70, 80, 90-yard touchdown plays on this defense. But Tyler Bray and these receivers have their hands full tomorrow with a Georgia defense that has shown that it can stop the pass. They're going to have to get the run going, Tennessee, with Rajon Neal, who's averaging about 7 yards a carry for the Volunteers. But like I said, it's going to be about this Bulldog team all year long. They look prime and ready really to make a big statement. And I think Tennessee is going to be the team that is going to be on the bad side of them making that statement.
All right, big SEC East implications in this game. If Tennessee's going to have to make it a shootout to win, but you know what? Mark Richt knows his team should be the better team, but hey, you got to be careful in these kind of games.
I think their ability to run the ball is probably stronger than most people think. I think part of the reason why they don't run the ball as much is because they have these tremendous receivers. They have this offensive line that can protect. They've got a very good scheme and a quarterback that can sling it. So, a lot of people talk about wanting balance, and I think we all do to a certain degree, but when you have those kind of weapons and you have that kind of quarterback, it's hard not to want to throw the ball.
You know, Tennessee's defense is susceptible to big plays. They're ranked 11th, I believe, in the conference against the run.
Yeah, they like I said, when I watch this Georgia team, it's about them. And they have really impressed me this year, and I didn't think as an Auburn Tiger I was ever going to say that. But they have impressed me. Other than kicking field goals and extra points, I don't see a weakness to this team. It's going to take an Alabama, it's going to take an Oregon team to be able to beat this Georgia Bulldog team.
All right, your Tigers and my Gators are off this weekend. When we get back, we'll check in on the #1 team in the land. Can Bama keep it rolling against Ole Miss?
We probably have a team that doesn't have as many maybe defined stars as what we've had in the past. And of course you all define them, so that's not my doing, but and I think that we have a lot of guys that have had a lot of opportunity to play, which, you know, is a good thing.
That's what I'm so impressed about with Bama. It seems like the #1 team in the country. That first of all, they've blown out every team they've faced. They're 4-0, blown everybody out, and it seems like everybody gets to play.
Yeah, they're just workman-like mentality out there. It's nobody. It doesn't matter who they plug in. The big story at the beginning of the year was how were they going to replace the starters on defense that left for the NFL, and you see that they're right back. The defense has already created 12 turnovers. They're playing Bama ball, which is we're going to go out, win the game, how we win the game. As you see, Coach Saban is always deflecting the media. He doesn't ever want to talk about the media, and he plays his team down, but when you watch this team, they do what they need to do within the game to win it.
Right. Now, Bama facing Ole Miss tomorrow, and they've won 8 straight in this series, and this will be Ole Miss's conference opener. I'm not sure. I mean, they're doing pretty well this season, 3-1, but...
Yeah, but now it's time to play the big boys.
Yeah.
It's SEC football. Coach Hugh Freeze's SEC opener. It's going to be a little tough. I mean, going on the road to Alabama is tough for anyone. I just feel like just the same situation that Georgia's in. It's all about what Alabama. And I wish I could I'd try to dig for facts, but it's just roll tide. Just roll tide.
I hear you. I hear you. South Carolina and Kentucky. Now, this one is at Kentucky, but Carolina ranks 6th in the country. They're 4-0 as well. Kentucky 1-3. I'm starting to be concerned for Joker Phillips' job. I'm not sure how much longer he'll be there.
If you keep going 38-0 as they did last week against Florida, and now you're going to play probably even a better defense, the South Carolina defense, they get DJ Swearinger back at safety. Last week, Jadeveon Clowney and Devin Taylor dominated the game against Mizzou. They really beat up on Mizzou. The score ended up 31-10. But I think Mizzou got that one of those seven of that 10 in the last couple of minutes of the game. Steve Spurrier, the old ball coach, he has a team and he has a quarterback. Connor Shaw goes out last week, completes 20 passes in a row.
Right.
I don't care if you're in 8th grade football. If you can complete 20 passes in a row, you had a great day at the quarterback position.
That is very true. South Carolina 11-1 in this series in the last 12 with Kentucky. 9 of those decided by 7 points or less. So Kentucky usually finds a way to play South Carolina tight, but...
You're such an optimist. I love your optimism. You're just going to find them a way to have a try. Huh?
We'll find a way. Hey, Steve Spurrier, though, knows, hey, we should be better than these guys, but you never know.
We've generally had a lot of close games with Kentucky. They're struggling a bit right now, and hopefully they'll struggle one more week before they get it turned around. But they're a team that's very capable. I think we're better than them, but if we don't play better, then certainly they can beat us.
But coaches always find the way. You know, they're just pessimists, every one of them.
In this society now, you have to you have to be humble a little bit, and that's what I think Coach Spurrier is doing right there. Like I said, Kentucky 38-0 last week to Florida. I don't see it getting any better against the Gamecocks.
When the SEC Friday Night Preview Show gets back, we'll take a look at the rest of the slate in the conference, and we'll see if Georgia Tech can bounce back from last week's heartbreaking loss to Miami.
If you believe that you've not been paid overtime wages or have not received your final paycheck, call Morgan & Morgan or visit forthepeople.com.
It's the Great Dress Event at Ross, starring you. You'll find an incredible collection of the latest fall dresses at unbeatable savings. Come to Ross for the top brands at a fraction of the price you'd pay at department stores. The Great Dress Event at Ross. Don't miss it.
This weekend at American Freight, 2 mattress sets, any size, only $298 complete. Get a twin and a full and a queen. Get a queen and a king, 2 kings, 2 queens, 2 mattress sets, any size, only $298 complete. Famous names like Simmons, Stewart, and Hamilton. Bring your truck, van, same-day delivery, free layaway. At American Freight in Marietta, Cobb Parkway South, Norcross, Jimmy Carter Boulevard, Atlanta, Fulton Industrial Boulevard, and in Riverdale, Georgia, Highway 85.
My Buick Enclave is filled with innovations that make it incredibly intelligent, like smart slide seating and a power liftgate. But all people seem to remember is how good it looks. I can relate. If you don't know the smart and sexy Enclave, you don't know Buick.
Now get 2 years of premium services on the 2012 Buick Enclave for around $299 per month. Consider it a new lease on luxury.
It's our 110th anniversary at Bassett Furniture. Come celebrate now and save an incredible 25%.
Georgia Honda dealers.
Sale ends Sunday.
CBS Atlanta closed captioning is brought to you by the North Georgia Honda dealers.
Okay, Wayne, let's go through the schedule a little quick. Arkansas, Texas A&M, who you got?
Texas A&M. Arkansas is a terrible team.
Okay, Missouri, UCF.
I'm going to go with University of Central Florida on this one.
Yeah, that could be tight. South Carolina, Kentucky, we talked about that. LSU, Towson. That's
blowout. It's just a blowout.
Yep. Alabama, Ole Miss, we talked about that as well. Keep it moving. Georgia and Tennessee, 3:30 right here on CBS. What do you think?
Georgia big.
Okay.
3 touchdowns.
I agree with you there. Of course, we're going to wrap things up tomorrow after the game with me and 790's Chris Domino. We'll have all the best highlights from the early games and help you get your game face on for the late games. That's the SEC wrap-up tomorrow night after the Tennessee-Georgia game, as I mentioned, right here on CBS Atlanta. Okay, Georgia Tech hosting Middle Tennessee. How do you get over that loss last week?
I owe the Miami Hurricanes an apology. I felt like Tevin Washington and the boys was going to run over them. Early on, they did, going up 19, blowing a 19-point lead. Mike James right here going in from my hometown of Haines City, Florida.
Oh.
Yeah, my man really shined at the end of this game. Going into overtime, Tech just ran out of steam.
Right.
They ran out of steam. Go Hurricanes.
And we are running out of time. We have about 20 more seconds left. What are you looking for tomorrow as far as the big games?
I'm looking to see how Malcolm Mitchell plays on offense for Georgia. He's been mostly playing cornerback. Now they're putting him back at receiver. And I'm really just looking for a big game from him.
Fantastic. Wayne Gany Guy Rawlings, thanks for watching this SEC preview. We'll see you next time.
From New York.